Welcome to another video of Lord PeteyTV Plays. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through a couple of dungeons here, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about what we do in certain situations and how we kind of fix them and went through it, how the bosses are dealt with, and so on and so forth. We're going to be dealing with multiple different classes. I would say it's going to be up to 5 or 6 different classes, but as of right now, we're prioritizing Druid and Monk, or I should say Balanced Druid and Brewmaster Monk. So please check us out. We're going to be doing a lot of other keys for other classes too. So we'll see you all soon. This is week 5 of season 3 of Dragonflight, and we're kind of going through the process here of trying to take care of fortified, entangling, and bolstering. And we worked on a couple of different classes. We tried to really push keys pretty hard this week, and this is kind of the results. With it being a tyrannical week, as you can see, what we ended up doing was we ended up pulling as many as the mobs as we could up till the bear, and proceeding to kind of just AoEing them down as hard as we possibly could. We had a mage in the group that was actually doing really, really high AoE damage. As for myself, I kind of tried to make sure I took care of a lot of AoE damage while keeping an eye on the incorporals using hybrid. And we kind of just went through the dungeon as is, trying to make sure we don't, pull anything out of the ordinary and so on and so forth. During this time, Dak really pulled really, really quick and efficiently to try to get as much as we could. We didn't know exactly how the pugs were going to operate because, with working with pugs, you don't exactly know. But I will say that what we did know was that we do produce a lot of AoE damage, as you can see really, really quickly. Myself and Gremlin were kind of just going at it and trying to do as much damage on almost all these large pulls. We ended up pulling some groups wrong, but at the same time, it didn't work out too bad. We ended up blowing through them very, very quickly.
Optimally, what people should be aiming for is 17s. Optimally? Well, let me put it this way. 17s will give you hero pieces, which is good. 18s will give you myth in the vault. So, and then it'll give you hero plus 2 at the end. So, 5 of one, 10 or another, it depends upon what you need and what you're going for. Yeah. Right, if you end up going and you get myth, you get a mythic piece, you don't need a worm. So, it's like, what would you rather? Would you rather worm? Which will end up dealing with that garbage. Or what? Like, I don't know. Yeah, like most of my gear is hero, and it's already past the worm portion. That's why I started pulling out the another tune to make something a little more viable. Because I hate to word it this way, but it's almost like a waste. Like, because I'll help anyone that needs your worm crest, but.
Are you looking to support the channel? Please make sure you go to our merch store. The link is in the comments below. We have mugs, shirts, lots of cool things that we will love you to purchase and be wearing and supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate it, and thank you so much. With it being a tyrannical week, the main thing that we try to focus on throughout the whole entire time is making sure we end up lusting on the bosses. So we lusted on the first boss on pull, and we kind of just went for it as quick and as fast as we possibly could, trying to DPS as much as we possibly could also. The nice thing about having a priest during corporal is that they can end up, mind controlling them so that they can end up controlling them and help, reduce the haste of the boss when we're going through it. And it's something that we kind of placed in our heads to make sure we took care of throughout this whole entire week. So we just really kept on our single target rotations and kind of just went, full bore on them. And we did as much damage as we possibly could. We kind of tried to keep, doing as much damage also on the ads that pop out, prioritizing the ads first. You got to make sure you got to take those ads down and keep them as close together as possible so that, they don't put a huge puddle of, that gross stuff all over the floor. And we ended up doing that and keeping it together and kind of just keeping the circle in the center pretty much full with as much garbage as we could, and we just rotated around the outside. Would be great if you did that and fucking knocked out the Incorporal. Which one? Sometimes my, what the hell is it called? My, my weapon kills me. Can't you, freedom yourself? You know me, it's all about experimenting. Just do it on a low-key. Zaf. Zaf, see if we can do like a 12 or 20 or... You gotta make sure we do those high keys, maybe 25. But first she has to like fix her mic so she can fight back. Make sure you end up checking out our other channels. We have a sister channel called Gaming Fire with Lord PeteyTV, which we end up giving you some specific gaming news that is popping up here and there throughout the whole entire week. And then make sure you're also checking out our Stories with Lord PeteyTV, where we end up giving you little short stories that he's handwritten throughout the whole entire week, which we think you'll greatly appreciate. Thank you so much, and check those out. And hit the subscribe button here when you are ready.
Team to my vault, and then after that, I'll do whatever else I need. What? Well, I can't sit there and give you hero. I thought I still did it. Is that right?
The hardest part about the mushroom pulls is that they always have one of the treants, or they have one of the dryads with them. So we end up, you know, making sure we DPS as much of those guys down as possible as we're going through. Actually, I should say keepers, the keepers and the treants, keepers and the dryads. My apologies. And we end up just DPSing them down really, really quick and easy. They're not too difficult during tyrannical weeks, so we just took it and we just kept going with it. So this time in the future, we don't really have any problems to worry about.
Looks like Senator Palpatine. And someone made an Instagram clip about it. I'll get it after this. Oh my god, it's so funny. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. Sorry, it's up to. Yeah, we are in the middle of a 19 thicket. We've already timed a 20 today. I'm sorry, 21. And a couple of 2 19s. And 2. Fucking asshole tank over here saying, oh, look at me, I'm not ready to army.
Oakheart is actually a very, very difficult boss. The one thing that my druid brings to the game, or any druid, is the ability to get out of snares. So what I pretty much did throughout the whole entire fight is pretty much run around, get as many of those strangling roots as possible, shape-shifting out of them so that we eliminate them so we don't have to deal with them. My DPS is a little bit lower because I am doing a lot of movement because I'm trying to deal with those, but at the same time, we don't have to deal with any of the little guys that pop up, which is a great thing. We watch out for the throw, make sure we don't stand in the circles there, and we kind of just proceed forward. But all in all, this fight is really not that difficult to do on my druid. I'm pretty sure that we've got a couple of videos also of me trying to do this on my monk and not being nearly as successful. But, you know, overall, this is not too bad a fight as long as you have 3 competent DPS that can work on it, and also, having a healer that can make sure to top off the tank before the throws. The Shadow Priest. The Shadow Priest. Well, if we're in a group with um, with Zaf, she's going to want to heal, so what am I going to do? My DPS is so low. Oh my god, it's still like over 100k. I feel like all I'm doing is just walking around. Strangle me, Root Daddy. It's fucking fantastic. I don't even like wanna even. I
He carried on the 21. I died on the last boss. Trouble's giving me shit. He says that I got carried on the 21. I only died on the last boss, and that is it. Oh my god, shush. Shush. Yeah? Well, someone didn't do the other to stabilize. 2, I got mine.
just wanted to put a notation in this. The blood tainted furies, you have to make sure you end up killing those and all their ads. If you don't end up killing those ads, what'll end up happening is that they drop a group of 5 of them on the ground, and then they will actually, once they die, a group of 5 will spawn to the ground. You DPS them down, and if you don't, they end up growing into an actual large bloodstained fury essentially again. So you have to kill them again, and that pretty much can wipe your group very, very easily. So please keep an eye on those, maintain it, and go after them when they pop and spawn. So how do you keep yourself hydrated over those long gaming sessions? Here at Lord PeteyTV, we end up using Rogue energy drinks. That is what we use here. We end up drinking those throughout the whole entire sessions. Please make sure you go there and use Lord PeteyTV at checkout when you end up purchasing some of those amazing drinks. So this boss really isn't that difficult to kind of go with. All you have to really make sure you're doing is continuing your single target DPS and making sure you're dealing correctly with not getting hit with the Breath of Corruption. When the downdraft happens, getting as close as possible. The closer you are to the boss, the less that it is for you to deal with. So I try to make sure I use my speed movements to go through, and that's pretty much what we end up doing. And it's not too bad. The rock fall, it tends to be randomized on any of the ranged players, so you just got to be careful of that while you're going through your time here. Me and this major unloading like prominent. Why is my first button disenchant? Oh my god, that almost hit me. Should I kill my happiness, huh? As always, just wanted to make sure you know we partner with Sub2R for our gamer glasses, our green screens, our camera mounts, our cameras, all of those enjoyable objects that we end up using while streaming for our long gaming sessions to help increase our quality of our streams. So make sure you use Lord PeteyTV at sub2r.com when you end up going there and purchasing some of this amazing gear. Now, what we learned with the tree trunk is that you really don't need the whole tree trunk when you're going through and clearing. It pretty much all depends upon what you're going to decide to do when you're going through it. So, what we end up deciding to do here is we just kind of take care of what we need to take care of, and then we kind of just follow through with, stealthing to the end or bypassing the last pack, or whatever we need to do. Tyrannical weeks, we really don't worry that much. We kind of just DPS everything because everything is super quick. And like I said, we're not really worried too much about it. This key, I was worried because our timer was so close, and you'll see at the end how close it is to us actually timing it.
So I figure out why Shadow and Wood and all them are not in raid right now, and I realize they don't start raid for like another 15 minutes. They have like a weird raid schedule. They start at 8:30 and go to like 11. Make sure you're ready to jump down. Because I'm going to push these away. I have to jump down. Well. Me and the mage kind of just looked at each other like, what do we do? 5 minutes. Release the hound!
Now, the last boss, the first 50%, is actually fairly easy to deal with. And by easy, I mean very easy. It's just staying away from each other if you end up having the growing paranoia. We call it paranorma just because it's funny. And then just making sure that if you do have the hateful bolt, you're standing with somebody. So during this fight, I pretty much got the paranoia, and I just sat there and just DPS like crazy because nobody can go by me and I couldn't do anything. So it worked out really well for me. So I just kind of just kept going with my wraths, keeping up my everything that I can do, and just going for it. And it was funny how that ended up operating because I got it probably 5 or 6 times in a row. Once we had 50%, we ended up lusting and going for it and getting it timed. And you'll see how close it is to actually us not timing it, but we ended up timing it. So it was a very interesting fight for us. Can we call her, let's say, Brenda? That priest almost walked into me. Norma 3 times in a row. At least take me to dinner. Yeah. I know, I mean, like, look at my DPS right now. Will I? We'll see about that. 4 times in a row. I didn't invite you to this party. This is a boy-girl party. You are like the parents that show up. You never stood a chance. Gremlin on you. I just don't know why I just walked forward. Great job, Pete. Great job. If you can res me, that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much for taking your time out and checking out the amazing videos that we are ending up producing here. Now, just a reminder, we end up putting videos out throughout the whole entire week involving our Mistweaver Monk, our Brewmaster Monk, our Boomkin Druid, our Guardian Druid, our Combat Rogue, and many other classes throughout the whole entire week. But please make sure you come and check us out. We are doing this every single week, live on twitch.tv every single Monday through Friday. Please come check us out. Subscribe to our YouTube page here and our sister pages. And if you're looking to support the channel, you know where to find it. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic rest of your day.